This week, we take a travel trailer to the lake for a weekend camping adventure and see what we think about trailer life. Kate and I packed up our Ford F-350 truck with all of our essential camping gear and drove 300 miles to Middlebury, Indiana. We did run into some rush hour traffic before arriving at our final destination. So we just brought Leo up to Winnebago because we are trying something for the first time. Trailer life. Kate and I have never camped out of a trailer before, and this is going to be the first time that we've taken a trailer to see what trailer life is all about. Grant Smith, the product manager at Winnebago Towables, gave us a full tour of the M-Series 2326 RK travel trailer that we will be camping out of for the weekend. This layout has a full bath and private bedroom. When it came time to hitch up the trailer, I was glad to have packed my essential RV tools, as they came in very handy when adjusting the hitch. Since Kate was filming, I was glad to have Grant's help to line up the trailer hitch ball with the coupler. Well, Leo is connected up and we've got our first trailer. So a little nerve-wracking because I've never towed a trailer this big. The biggest thing I've ever towed has been like a 6x12 cargo trailer. So this is 26.5 feet. It's gonna be a challenge, but I'm up for it.
We did book a campground a few miles from here so we can spend the night in the trailer, tow it a short distance, make sure everything is good before we get on the road for our big camp out.
Always a safe bet. We made sure to get a pull-through site so I don't have to embarrass myself at the campground trying to back this thing in. Ooh, time for some AC. There we go. 68.
Home sweet home. I'm very excited for trailer life. I've always wanted to try the towables segment of the RV lifestyle.
Hey, you know what? This is the first time in a long time we won't have to crawl over each other to get out of bed.
This is true.
So it was surprisingly quick and easy to set up. It took us less than 10 minutes and we were in the camper with the AC on and running.
And now we're off to Camp Walmart to get some essential supplies because while we packed our pillows and blankets, we don't have any food items. Watermelon, an essential for any camping adventure.
So Kate and I had a long drive today and we are just unpacking from Walmart, getting things together. We're gonna relax, enjoy the camper for the first night and kind of get the feel for it.
I'm having some grapes. I do love the giant fridge. It is nice to have. We haven't had one of these since the Class A RV days.
I think it is time for a shower. I feel pretty sweaty from the day, so it'll be a nice treat. We are up at the very northern point of Indiana. I mean, the Michigan state line is just over there. And today we are going to drive all the way down to southern Indiana. We're going to Patoka Lake and we're going to be camping there with friends for the weekend. So we're going to have our coffee, relax, pack up, and then I think we have a 4 or 5 hour drive ahead of us today. I'm really curious to see what this is like towing on the highway and doing that for long distances. We just did a short drive from Winnebago over here so we could, get the feel for the trailer and everything else before we really got on the road. Kate's making her tea, I'm gonna make some coffee, and then I'll be good to go. Cheers, y'all.
All right, getting packed up, and we've got to go through our pre-departure checklist. This is our first time in a trailer, still figuring things out, but gotta latch the doors. Slide needs to come in. I've got the fridge latched. I think we're almost ready.
And I've got to disconnect this.
Yes. I do like, though, that we can still get to the bathroom and the bedroom with the sliding.
So admittedly, the most difficult part for me with our packing up today is going to be getting the truck back over to the hitch and lining everything up. Again, towing trailers is not something I've done a lot in the past and never something this big. So it's a learning curve and something I'm gonna have to figure out. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Before embarking on our 300-mile drive to Patoka Lake, we met Adam Christofferson, the Senior General Manager of Winnebago Towables, for a quick tour of the manufacturing facility where the M Series, as well as the Mini and Micro Mini travel trailers, are made. We always enjoy factory tours to learn how different campers are made and to better understand why certain components are used and how customer feedback is taken into account for new layouts and features. Plus, it's always fun to see the entire build process from start to finish. Towing a 26-foot travel trailer has reminded us of how much we appreciate businesses with RV and truck parking, especially when coffee is involved. So far, my initial impressions towing the trailer is it's been very easy. And I think one of the reasons why is this is a narrow trailer. So it's only 7 feet wide, which makes it very easy to see around with my mirrors and everything else. It's easier for me to keep it in the lane. And I will say, as a first-time travel trailer tower, this has been a pretty nice experience. Our coffee break was quickly followed by our rest area stop. So it's nice that this has a 12-volt fridge because it'll run off the battery. There's a 200-watt solar panel on the roof, and it'll keep all our food and everything cold. So whenever we have a pit stop like this, Kate can pop in, grab some food out of the fridge or a cold drink. And what better way to break in my first travel trailer towing experience than with some rain mixed into the drive. 300 miles and many hours later, we finally arrived at Patoka Lake for the annual Hokey Patoki campout with our friends. With just over 400 electric campsites at the modern campground, we were glad to arrive on a Thursday to beat the rush of weekend campers.
Well, we went from a pooling site to a back-in site, so now I get to embarrass myself even further.
Kate had to put the camera down to help me back into the site, so this is all the footage you're gonna get.
A bit of an explosion in here. Gotta put everything away. We had all this stuff in the back of the truck. I'm putting up a map of the campground because we're here for a big annual family camp out with our friends, and people are kind of scattered all over the place, so this will be a nice quick reference to find people.
Why don't you close the screen so we don't get mosquitoes? So this is Kate's happy time, getting to organize a new trailer. I know, just stay back, watch, and try to learn where she puts everything.
But as you all know, things can shift. Cheers.
Cheers. Just what I needed after that long day. All right, let's go sit by the campfire. Good morning. So at last night's campfire, we learned that there is a German fest going on in Jasper, Indiana. And apparently there is a German restaurant that we've had start on our list for a while to check out. I love German food. So we're gonna head into Jasper and then see what else we can find along the way.
Well, if you like it, we can come back for the buffet.
All right, enough dancing, it's time to feast. I ordered the pork shank with German potato salad and red cabbage. And Kate ordered fried fish with German potatoes and green beans. And if there's one dessert that's hard to pass up, it's the apple strudel a la mode. With a full schedule of events happening around Jasper all weekend, we decided to check out the vintage tractor display. But first, a fuel stop to top off our diesel. So given this is our first time towing a trailer, I was curious to see what the MPG was. So on our drive up to pick up the Winnebago, we got 16.5 MPG, and on the way back, we got just under 12 MPG. The trailer being around 4,500 pounds or so is a significant draw on our MPG. Now we're gonna go look at tractors and see if they're sexy. Kate definitely found a few of these tractors sexy, but none of them were for sale. My search for a tractor continues. We decided to take the long way back to camp, by driving through French Lick, Indiana. There is a well-known resort in town that is worth checking out, so we drove over there to take a quick tour. The West Baden Springs Hotel opened in 1902 and was known for having the world's largest free-span dome for more than 50 years. It's time to get back to camp for my afternoon cup of joe. I have to say the one thing I'm enjoying about trailer life is we drop the trailer. This becomes our base camp, our home, whatever you want to call it. And then we just take the truck and we can go run around and see and do things. Whereas with the van or when we had the truck camper, you have to pack everything up, leave, come back to camp, and then unpack and reset up camp. Which sometimes you're like, it's not really worth just going for a quick drive or going to check something out. But now we just have a truck to do that. And we can leave all of our stuff out, which is so nice. Before everyone else rolled in for the annual camp out, we enjoyed some downtime reading our books. For dinner, we had homemade beef and sausage stew. Kate likes to have hers with short pasta, whereas I like mine as is. Even though it was over 90 degrees outside and humid, the camper AC kept us nice and cool while we ate our steaming hot bowls of stew. Watching campers roll into their sites over dinner was fun, and I'm glad we arrived when the campground was less busy and I had more room to maneuver. So it's Friday and everybody is coming into the campground. It is getting busy.
The best part about camping at a lake? Taking a boat out. So today is that day, but first we have to get Joe caffeinated.
Always. It was a quiet morning at camp, which gave us plenty of time to enjoy our beverages and catch up with friends before heading out to the marina. Our friends Drew and Jamie took us for a day out on the lake, which included viewing a bald eagle and hanging out by the cove with the rest of the Hokey Patoka crew. The highlight of our lake day was watching a catfish swimming next to our boat. It was definitely used to people as it swam right up to me. After 7 hours on the lake, we headed back to the campground for a hot shower and to get ready for the potluck. So whenever there's a potluck at a camp out, we always bring Conecuh because it is a crowd favorite. If you haven't heard of Conecuh yet, it is an Alabama sausage and it's absolutely delicious. While I was cooking up the sausage, Kate wandered around camp to see what our friends were making. Once we added our contribution to the dinner table, it was time to feast. The surf and turf table was definitely our favorite of the evening.
Everything's so good, and I haven't even had everything, but everything I've tried is so good.
As the evening wore on, the campfire was started, and since we are in bourbon country, barrel heads were added to the fire. By 11 p.m., the fire had grown substantially, thanks to Kevin, our master fire builder. So I was sitting here having my morning coffee, just thinking about the trailer and what camping out of a trailer is like. And I was thinking about that in comparison to a motorized unit, because That's all we've ever really had. So we had Class A, Class B, truck camper, and that. I think the big difference for me is a trailer is essentially your base camp. You take your trailer to where you're going, you drop it off, and then you go off and explore and adventure in a place. When you're in a motorized unit, not a Class A, but something smaller, like a van, the van becomes part of your adventure because you take it everywhere you go. It's your main vehicle. You go to a national park, you're driving through, you're seeing wildlife, you're doing it out of your van. You don't do that with a trailer, whereas the trailer you drop off at camp and then you go off to the national park and explore that way. And this M series is under 4,500 pounds, which means it can be towed by a wide range of vehicles that a lot of people might already have a SUV or a truck that can tow something like this. So given the fact that the entry point for this is under $30,000, it's a great option for people who are looking to just camp on the weekends or a few weeks a year and not spend, over $100,000 on a camper van or a Class A RV. So those are my final thoughts on trailer life. I would love to know what y'all think in the comments below. Do you have a travel trailer? If so, what do you have and how do you use it? This is all new to us, so we would love to get your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't seen it, we did do a full walkthrough of this M series on our channel. Big thank you to Winnebago for letting us use this. For more RV related content, head over to our YouTube channel. We're the Russos, and we'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.
This video is sponsored by Winnebago.